Alright. It's time to record this week's video. I'm starting pretty late. I'd apologize, but hopefully for y'all, you know, it's just uploading tomorrow at the same time as usual. Guess that really depends on whether or not I wake up in time. And this isn't the only package, but this is the first one. Oh. Okay, yeah. It's an advertisement for something called Bell. Amaro Hosoda. Sounds intriguing. Okay. Yeah, I've got a couple of Right Stuff packages here. Oh, I was just wondering that I needed that. Come on. Why do they use tougher tape for these things? Actually, I guess it's okay. Just double checking to make sure, you know, it's safe to show on camera. It also came with one of these advertisements. But yeah, this is obviously a hentai. Which one is this? Maid service that keeps on giving. I guess the back is showable as well. Makes sense. The artwork is interesting because it doesn't seem like what you'd normally see on a hentai. Like normally a hentai has this really ultra detailed artwork. The actual code looks nothing like it. Okay, and before we start that, we'll go with the non-anime stuff on the side. Because obviously Christmas happened, so, you know, my friend gave me Mythbusters Seasons 6 and 7. We've also got, I got Fall Guy. Or sorry, Free Guy. Blah. Brain is off. You know, this is just the DVD version, but I was kind of curious, wanted to watch it. Same friend that gave me Mythbusters gave me 2 Magic the Gathering cards. I'm having trouble reading this one, even through the video camera, but y'all should. And then this Planeswalker. Basically, when he gets me cards like this, these are for my regeneration deck. And obviously, big black creatures whose main cost is their mana cost. Those are good for that. This is obviously not good for the deck because I can't resurrect a Planeswalker. And the high cost basically means that I won't be able to do that thing. But, you know, the interesting thing about this is it does fit with the theme, which means this may actually be a pretty good candidate for a commander deck. And while there's other things I got for Christmas, I figured the other thing I'd show here is this Cook anime book. Diana Alt, I think, might be the author. And as you can see, it's you know, basically a lot of how to cook things that you see in your various anime. Yakitori, takoyaki, okonomiyaki. There's melon cream soda, parfait. And there's a metric chart, which makes sense because I guess Japan uses the metric system, and we still use non-metric. Well, let's take a look at the anime. We've got Alice in Borderland, which is a very interesting sounding game. Be careful of what you wish because wishes can come true. Okay, that sounds really intriguing. Open. Because I was noticing here that there's an English dub and Region A, all 3 episodes on 1 disc. Okay, that means it might not be too big of a watch. 75 minutes. Interesting. Worst case, if it's not that great, it's over in a little over an hour. Next up we have A3 Season Spring and Summer, which I do believe there are Fall and Winter. Like that might be the next season, maybe? I don't know. Just getting that sticker off there so we can see some sexy whatever would have been behind it. I mean, I'm kind of almost noticing that the bottom of this guy's shirt almost looks like Zuteki Ryoki. Is that correct? Looking on the back, I see a region A and a B and English dub. 12 episodes on 2 discs. Okay. I was trying to figure out... Ooh. Different underneath the slipcover. Let's see. This looks like an all-guy cast. This does 2. That person looks like a girl design. I'm trying to figure out what that might mean in terms of what the content of this anime is. Which I guess, trying to read that, but honestly I can't process the cursive right now. And then of course, take that out. What is this? Episodes 1 through 8, that's disc 1. And then 9 through 12, that's disc 2. Now hold on just a second. Is that the same as that person? Are they actually a girl? Is that a girl or is that another guy? I'm trying to look at the two of these and trying to see if I understand. I don't know. I get the impression it's some sort of actor-related thing. But now I'm not quite sure if a person that's a girl is necessarily a girl, because it could be a guy playing a girl. And I don't know if that's what's going on there or not. But it looks very actor-inspired, which makes sense considering the first A was Addict and Actors. Interesting. Ouch. Okay, and then last but not least we have Demon Slayer, the Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie, Mugen Train. Okay, that's the little opening of the plastic here. And you know, obviously I've sometimes saved those plastics because you know, the box that Aniplex ships their stuff in, well, maybe older Aniplex used to do this, but Japanese imported stuff, usually it doesn't hold everything together, whereas this is kind of a advertisement thing. This kind of, I don't see any region, like usually the region mark stuff would be there, and I see compact disc and Blu-ray and something else, but this might be, well, it's my understanding this is a continuation of this series. This is a movie, and I don't know if this is an entire arc condensed into a movie or if it's one storyline that is appropriate movie form. I kind of am thinking the latter, but I don't know the actual contents, and I won't be able to tell you until I watch it. I just remember that I really liked some of the ideas of what the show was doing, but I also kind of wanted to give big middle fingers to a lot of the characters. Anyways, we've got a booklet. It looked like it was a random smattering of stuff. I don't know if smatter is the right word to use. And then we got characters. Oh yeah, and the other problem I had was, well, I liked the concept of some of the support cast. They're kind of douchey at the same time. I don't know. Maybe idiots, like the kind of idiot that would drown you if you were to swim into water to try to save them from drowning. So, yeah, we have the movie and the soundtrack. That says soundtrack right there. So cool. My ability to read isn't completely wrong. So it makes sense to put this in more like this. I think so. Anyways, here's this week's anime Blu-ray collection update. Alright, so with Christmas, I was at least busy enough that I didn't do a whole lot of anime watching. I'm trying to think what I did watch other than a couple more episodes of Rent-A-Girlfriend. But there are some people who said that they enjoyed the series. There's some people who received copies of the manga for Christmas or something like that. You know, basically I'm like, oh, I'm going to try and give it a little more go, especially when I jumped in and realized, even though I said I had watched like 2 episodes, it was really only like less than 1.5 episodes. So I wanted to give it more. And some of the things I didn't like about it are still pretty prominent. It does seem to balance on an edge of being one of those shows that continues moving forward based upon lies told earlier, which, like I said, I don't really like. I also kind of didn't like the Friends, because even though our main character is kind of cringy virgin-y, I guess, the Friends didn't seem a whole lot better. Even though they talk in a way which kind of suggests they aren't, but I don't know. They're just a little too pushy. And I don't know how to describe it better than that. My head hurts right now for some reason, so that's just that. But I've gotten closer to like 4 or 5 episodes in, and it's at least keeping things turbulent enough that it isn't resting on the cringe humor too much. I'm kind of curious where it's going to go from where it is, but, you know, I've just been only very slowly making progress in it. Mostly because, you know, it's Christmas and, let's see, some of the things that made Christmas a little trickier. One of the things I've gotten that I'm obviously not showing in this video because I'm already past the part where I'm showing all stuff, was I got a new vacuum cleaner. And that might not seem like a big thing, but I guess it was the day before Christmas Eve, you know, one of those days where obviously everybody else is going to be out shopping. And I'd say, and they're doing last minute Christmas shopping, but part of the reason I was there was to do some last minute Christmas shopping because my brother did confirm that he and the nephews were going to be visiting, and so I'm like, okay, got to get the nephews some simple Christmas presents, whatever they are, you know, just good, get them something. And I got them simple things. One of them was a board game called Fireball Island, which is a remake of something that I actually had as a kid, but I never really played it for real. So here's hoping that, you know, they, you know, play it for real and they enjoy it throughout their childhood as much as I enjoyed that one, because even if I never played the board game as it was actually intended to be played, I remember it being just a really neat thing with a lot of neat things that came with it. And I got them some Super Mario 3D World cat suit things. Like, it's just a 3-pack with a Mario, Luigi, and Peach in it wearing the cat suits. But, you know, if they have favorite characters and they're not the same character, there's a chance they may actually have ones they can play with, or maybe just display or something like that. You know, nice and simple things. But the point was, you know, I also went to pick up a vacuum cleaner. That's also when I picked up Free Guy, of course. And I haven't seen Free Guy yet. Is there something else that I saw that I'm not remembering? Right now, I don't remember. Which makes me think that there wasn't anything in particular. Yeah, that was last week, and I talked about watching Ringu. So basically, it just meant that, you know, it may not sound like a big deal, me buying vacuum cleaner, but the trick is, I didn't have to deal with the traffic as badly as a lot of the other people who were shopping, but that means I walked there, and I had to carry the vacuum cleaner in the box back, and unfortunately they didn't think to put a handle on it. It would have been nice. Because otherwise you're carrying a bulky box with a little weight to it. Nothing that you can't pick up and hold, but when you're carrying it over a longer distance, that's when it starts getting on you. And I feel like I've been in a kind of I've overexerted myself mood ever since then, and that was, you know, that it's been a long weekend basically. Spent Christmas Day, you know, at the parents' place. It was very nice and quiet. They did most of the cooking this time, but I made pumpkin pie. You know, I always make pumpkin pie. I forgot that I've still got 2 slices left, and maybe I'm going to eat both of them tonight. And then, of course, I've been trying to get a lot of Dead by Daylight in, because this is a good opportunity for me to just play, have fun. Especially if I play during the day, I get to play when the Survivor queues are a little more forgivable. And I've been enjoying Survivor. When you play as Survivor, usually you don't have to think as hard. You still get engaged in the game, but you don't have to be, you're not the one that's controlling the flow of the game goes, so you can kind of live a lot more in the moment. Whereas Killer can have a bit of that, but there's kind of performance anxiety that comes from that. And I call it that, even though I don't feel too anxious when I'm playing. It's just one of those things where I'm like, do I have the energy to start up a game of Killer right now? Especially since I really want to pay attention, because I did have a game where I didn't pay attention, and maybe I talked about this last week, I can't remember, but I did have a game where I didn't pay attention, where I had a headache, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to keep going. And before I realized it, 2 of the survivors were dead. I'm like, oh, I've gone too far. I can't even tell you if I was tunneling anybody, because I was not paying complete attention. And Survivor, you can have games like that are just bad for your team, but I don't know if you ruin somebody's day as much as if you're a killer that's just like good enough at the game to make it miserable for people if you're not paying attention and you just happen to get whatever's in front of you. I hope they did okay. But, you know, I've been having fun. I've been playing mostly as Sybil Bennett, which is a Cheryl Mason legendary skin, but you know, it's Sybil Bennett from the first Silent Hill game. She's pretty nice. She's one of the more, so of the police officer characters in the game, she's definitely my favorite, although that's not saying much, because not only is she Silent Hill, but she's also, you know, the Cheryl Mason skin, so she has all my favorite characters unlocked stuff. But the other contenders, I guess, because I don't think Stars is police specifically. If you do that, then there could be a handful of others, because you have both Jill and Chris, although Chris is a skin for Leon. But Leon was a police officer, so there's one police officer, and the other one would be Detective Tapp. And my only complaint of Detective Tapp is I keep thinking of Adam as the detective, but that's because he's got one of those professor coats on, but it kind of looks like a detective jacket, so I keep thinking of Adam as the detective because he just feels more film noir, or potentially film noir, but he's not. And Leon's a great character, no doubt about that, but not among my favorite. It's more like among my highly appreciated. I'm kind of glad he's in the game. I kind of wish the Stranger Things characters' licenses weren't removed, because Steve is a fun character. I can't help but wonder if that actor looks at the game and some of the stuff that comes from that game and he can't help but laugh, because I think the likeness is the most like of any other likeness in that game, and there's something uncanny about that. But then there's him and his voice, 4 Steves jumping out of a window one after the other, and it's Steve's to the rescue, and it's just weird. Imagine looking at a video game like, wow, that really does look like me, and that's my voice recorded, and there I am, 4 of me, doing something together for some reason. Groups of Steves even have their own personalities. They should be called they should probably have a name for a grouping of Steves. But yeah, that's all stuff. And I guess it kind of shows that I haven't been in the mood to watch a lot of other new stuff, I guess, on account of the fact that I got Free Guy, but I haven't watched it yet. You know, I've just seen analysis and this and that, and it looks like it's a fun movie. And, you know, as cynical as I can be about a whole lot of stuff, it sounds like the new Spider-Man movie is also really fun, and I really should go and watch it in theaters. But I'm definitely not going to do that if I'm waking up late in the day with kind of heavy eyes still. Here's hoping whatever is causing this goes. And I don't know if it's either cedar fever or if it's just me recovering from, what's it called? But whenever I measure my temperature, I don't measure a fever, so I don't know what it is. If it is COVID, then hooray, it's very mild. But I don't feel very respiratory, so I doubt it's COVID. Like, I don't feel any chest things, I don't feel an urge to cough. Just a headache, which feels more like an allergy thing, and me not keeping up on my hydration enough or something. Oh well. I guess that just about wraps up everything I was thinking of talking about. Again, sometime this week I'm going to do a walkthrough of the apartment, because I had 3 packages today, so I might as well record today's anime Blu-ray DVD collection update, whatever. And if I'm pretty sure I have packages coming already for next week, so I'll probably just try and post sometime this week. 28, 29, 30. Well, I guess Friday would be a good day to post an apartment tour. I'll talk about some of my other Christmas stuff then, I guess. I mean, I won't talk about them in so much depth that you are like, oh yeah, this and oh yeah, that. But it's more like there are some interesting additions to the apartment that came from Christmas that also have to do with the big Texas freeze earlier today. Not today, earlier this year. So, I don't know. I guess that's what y'all can expect of it. The what happened in this apartment after that big event, and the big cleaning of the chimney thing. Which again, I didn't clean the chimney, but yeah, good stuff to know. Alright. Y'all, have a great next rest of the year.